Friday Night Lights is brought to you by Baylor Scott and White Health.
Well, welcome to Week 10 of Friday Night Lights. Nick Canizales alongside Nikki Latterillo. We're going to hear from Curtis Quillen in just a bit. Of course, tonight, many teams across the area could either clinch a playoff spot or win a district championship.
Yes, and that's the case in our game of the week. Temple could clinch a District 12 6A championship, but a loss would move Midway into a tie for the district lead.
Yeah, the Panthers have had Temple's number throughout the years. Would that change tonight or keep the trend going to Panther Stadium? Packed out for this one. Second quarter, Midway up 24-0, driving. Jared Moore on the keeper to his left, finds the outside, takes all, picking up 38 yards, setting the Panthers up in Wildcat territory. Later in the drive, Moore, he's going to call his own number again. He's going to cut back across the middle, goes untouched to the end zone, 15 yards. Midway up 31-0. Shocking, ensuing Wildcat drive right here. Play action, Vance Willis returning from a knee injury, finds the Texas commit Quentin Johnston for the Wildcat first down inside the Midway 15. Next play, Willis on the keeper, 14 yards, and the Wildcats are on the board, 31-7. Look at that, looking like Stan Gable from Revenge of the Nerds back in the day. Just before the half, Panthers driving again, but Moore's pass, it is picked off by Roman Jackson. He's going to return it all the way around to the Midway 30-yard line, but Temple would miss a 48-yard field goal attempt at the horn, 31-7 at the break. This just went final. Midway 52-28.
Whoa there.
Unbelievable.
That's a big one. That's a big one.
This week's Game of the Week is sponsored by Baylor Scott and White Health.
Curtis Quillen, he's been out there from the very beginning, joins us live from Panther Stadium. Curtis, did we see this coming? Midway drops 52 on a really good Temple defense.
Yeah, no, guys, this one was pretty much never in question. Midway jumped out to a 24-0 lead, but in fact, it was up to 31-0 with about 5 minutes until the half before Temple finally found pay dirt. 52-28 is the final here in Hewitt. So the winners of Channel 6's Week 10 Game of the Week is the Midway Panthers. Where's Coach Hugh now? Let's talk. Okay. All right, we're joined by Coach Jeff Hume now. Coach, that's exactly the performance you were looking for from your team
take a knee.
against a really, really good Temple squad. What was the difference for you guys here tonight?
Well, I just think our kids came out really focused, ready to go. We had a great week of practice. You know, they're playing for each other and they love each other, and you know that's a hard team to beat.
When you look at this performance, you guys, you know, that tough loss 2 weeks ago, you bounced back with a win last week against a really good Shoemaker team, and to bounce back in this fashion, how you've got to be feeling good about this team heading into Week 11 into the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, we felt good about this team all along. You know, you run into bumps and you know, things along the way, and you know, but these guys have persevered and done exactly what we asked them to do, and that's bond together as a team, play together as a team, and have fun together. I mean, that's what football's all about.
You guys, this win puts you guys in the driver's seat to host in the first round. How big is that for this program? How big is that for this community and this team?
Well, you know, I think it's everything. You know, that's what, you know, this school district lives on. I mean, they talk about excellence, and you know, the thing we got to do, we're going to celebrate this tonight, and you know, we're going to go back to work on Monday because we still got another game next week, and you know, we're going to Belton, and they're going to be ready for us. I don't care what tonight did with them; they're going to be ready to go next week, so we got to be ready to go. Coach,
congratulations on the win. Let's celebrate that with your kids.
Right,
52-28, the final here at Panther Stadium. Midway gets the big win. We'll have more here from Hewitt in just a bit. For now, live at Panther Stadium, Curtis Quillen, 6 Sports.
All right, thank you, Curtis. Only the second home win by our Game of the Week this entire season.
Our road teams have been doing well, so good for Midway.
I know. Hey, look, let's stay in District 12 6A. Shoemaker. They find themselves in third place, just a half game ahead of Harker Heights.
And a win over Copper's Cove would clinch a playoff spot. A loss makes things very interesting going into Week 11. The Wolves come in winning 4 of their last 5 games. Could they check another win in the win column? Shoemaker's ball, handoff, but falls right out for a fumble recovered by Cove. Shoemaker ball, quick fake. Amari Evans runs, gets a few solid yards, but nothing too interesting. Shoemaker's ball. Handoff to Devin Brown, but Cove isn't letting him slip by. Solid tackle right there. Shoemaker ball. Ty Bell keeps the ball, runs down the side. Quick toss, but denied. Shoemaker ball. Snap goes way over. Cove goes in for the tackle. Ball goes flying again and recovered by the Bulldogs.
Oh, look at a popcorn machine out there.
Yeah, now Cove's ball quick handoff to Micah Cox for the touchdown. Let's see how this one ended. Oh, is it tied right now?
28.
My eyes aren't that good. 28-28 in the fourth.
All right, over at Leo Buckley Stadium, both Ellis and Killeen were fighting for bragging rights tonight. Killeen's ball, James Terry with the pass. But put it in reverse, Terry. It's intercepted by Ellison. Uh-oh, there he goes. He's going back the other way. Nice tackle by the offensive lineman. So Ellison's ball, hands off, but Killeen isn't going to let him slip by. Yeah, just a pack of ruse there. Ellison's ball, a huge pass to Trajan Spiller. And he gets it. Nice catch. Gets tackled. Ellison continues to have it. It's Trajan Spiller. Oh, what a catch
Look
right
at
there.
that
Looked
shot.
like Randy Moss for the touchdown. Killeen's ball. They would get it back. But a huge block. Look at that right there. Incredible. Let's go to the big board. Ellison. Wow. Late third quarter.
Okay.
50-3 over Killeen.
All right, now let's head out to Waco ISD Stadium, where a Belton win would give them a much easier path to a playoff berth. Opening drive for the Lions. Handoff goes to Jerome Radcliffe. He bounces to the outside, finds a seam, picks up 25 yards for the Waco High first down. Later in the drive, 4th and goal. Now Sammy Becerra lining up for the field goal.
Wow.
It's blocked, falling right into Jonah Menace's arms for the Belton, and he has gone 87-yard touchdown. Tigers take a 7-0 lead.
That's play of the night right there,
That
Nikki.
is crazy. Ensuing drive, Nate Reyna pump fakes, fires to Jaquan Wells. He picks up 15 for the first down, setting up this handoff. Goes to Adrian Rodriguez, who lowers his shoulder into the end zone, 3 yards, and it's 7-7. This one, Waco High, 24-19. That's in the fourth quarter.
Incredible. Over in 5A, University was in a must-win situation to stay in the hunt for a playoff spot. They fall tonight against Everman 65-7. Hey, look, we're just getting started right here on Friday Night Lights. Don't go anywhere. We're going to dive into Class 4A, 3A,
We got a lot
2A,
going on. Don't
going
leave.
on.
No.
We'll be back.
Come back.
All right, welcome back. Let's drop down to Class 4A, where it's been a really, really tough season for the Gatesville Hornets.
Yes, they haven't won a game. Their offense is averaging just 12 points, while their defense is giving up an average of 55 points per game. But an upset tonight over Stephenville would put Gatesville right in the middle of a playoff berth. First quarter, Stephenville up 14-0. Cade Renfro hands it to Caden Cowan, who makes it look easy right out the gate. Touchdown Jackets.
Cade connection
that
there.
makes it 21-0 Stephenville. In the second quarter, Gatesville's Wesley Brown tries to run to score, but is stopped 2 yards short. Penalties push the Hornets back, but they do end up getting a field goal. Stephenville up 21-3 in the second quarter. That one ends 49-24 the final. They still don't have a win on the season.
Oh, man. Scores from around Class 4A to win over number 6 Brownwood would clinch LaVey, get at least a share of a district championship. They do just that. 31-14 the final. Robinson, a must-win situation against Fairfield. They fall in overtime 26-20. Farina, well, they need a couple of wins to put themselves in playoff contention. They win 41-16 at Madisonville. Mejia wins 21-6. That means Mejia clinches a playoff berth. All right, over in McGregor, the Bulldogs are hoping to finish the season on a good note, hosting Groesbeck. Dogs already up 21-6 second quarter. Groesbeck's John Reed tosses to Cason Crane, but he goes down very quick. McGregor's turn, Darius Dixon looks right, lobs 20 yards to Caleb Carmichael for the game. Nice play right there.
Who shot that?
I don't know. I forgot who it was. Oh, I think it might have been Foster. A few plays later, Dixon hands off to Michael Layla for the Bulldog touchdown. McGregor goes up 35-6 at the half. And look at this, late fourth quarter, all McGregor 42-14.
All right, Cameron Yo has won 4 in a row. Could they make it 5 against Manor New Tech? After an opening drive kickoff return for a touchdown for Cameron Braden, Brashear would get the snap and do a reverse handoff to Zachary Spikes for his second touchdown, as his speed was too much for the Titans. Then, on their next possession, wait, not yet. Where's the next possession?
Got to celebrate a little bit.
All right, they're just excited.
Celebrate that touchdown.
The next possession, which is coming soon.
It's coming up.
I think this is coming.
It's coming up, slowly but surely. Who is this? This
Here we
Foster?
go. Braden would throw. Oh, he's going to throw to a wide open Kobe Young for a long touchdown pass to pad their lead 21-0. Yep, it's a long run again. Then
strolling on in.
Then, okay, he's going to celebrate, I'm pretty sure. There we go. They're excited. They're excited. Then Braden, not yet. We have a lot of celebration. Here we go. Braden gets the snap, hands off to Nico Vargas, making people miss. And then bulldozes over Dominic Dasby for them, stiff arm 68, and he's gone to add their score 28-0. Oh my, 77-6 the final. That's a big one.
Over in Gerald, the Cougars were in a must-win situation against the Rockdale Tigers. Nice crowd on hand tonight. First quarter action, Jace Robinson hands off to Cameron Valdez. He plows his way into the end zone from 3 yards out. Tigers go on top 7-0. After Gerald goes 3 and out, Robinson on the RPO, which for you at home, it stands for run pass option. He keeps it himself, runs around the right side, picks up 15, a Tiger first down. A few plays later, Robinson hits Kobe Mitchell on the bubble screen. Mitchell breaking 3 tackles, spins around that circle on your PS4 there. 19 yards on the touchdown, 14 zip at that point. It was all Rockdale, 61-9 your final.
All right, number 7, Troy, could wrap up an outright district championship tonight with a win over Lago Vista. Beginning 13-12 the score at this point. Lago Vista ball. Buck pounds a long throw on 4th down to Marquise Pierce, and he got the first down. Next play, hands off to Logan Parsons. He sets it up for them, 1st and goal. And then Pounds keeps it himself, fights into the end zone. The extra point was blocked, so it's 19-12 at this point. Next drive for the Trojans, 4th down. Ben Presley hands off to Zach Krabashik. He gets the Troy first down. A few plays later, 3rd down, long pass to Cody Kaminsky for the first down. And then after several plays and several penalties, hands off to Zach Krabashik, who ends up getting into the end zone for the touchdown. The extra point was good, so the game was tied going into half.
Look at this one.
Troy ends up winning that one, 40-33 the final.
Scores from around Class 3A, number 4 Rogers all over Florence, 65-14. The final in that one. Lexington shuts out Hamilton 41-zip. Teague, they do clinch a playoff spot with a big win, 41-9. And number 1 Grandview, they go down to Whitney, 26-21.
I love an upset.
That was a big win by Whitney. Whitney's tough this year.
Yeah.
All right, Nick, Time to announce our Battle of the Bands winner.
Yes, this week's winner goes out to the Gerald Cougars. Take a listen, and we'll see you on the other side of the break.
This week's Game of the Week is sponsored by Baylor Scott and White Health.
In Hewitt, where the Midway Panthers are victorious 52-28 against the Temple Wildcats. That puts Midway in the catbird seat for the District 12 6A crown. I'm joined now by player of the game, quarterback Jared Moore from Midway. Jared, let's, simple, what clicked tonight?
Really just we had a chip on our shoulder and we took advantage of it. Defense was turning turnovers, and that really gives us an energy just to keep going. And really, O-line did amazing tonight, one of their best games, especially with a really good Temple D-line like that. And me, Will, our whole offense, all receivers, we just try to take advantage of that.
You mentioned the O-line real quick. Will Nixon is one of the most slippery runners I've ever seen, just almost impossible to tackle. What's it like seeing him run and seeing him capitalize on the push you guys got up front?
Oh, it's amazing. It's like mesmerizing watching him run. He literally breaks every tackle. He makes unbelievable plays that none of us would ever think of making like that. Just stuff like that.
Jared, congratulations on the win. Congratulations on a likely district championship. 52-28 the final. We're not going away, though. We're going to your smartphones, the 6 News app, KCENTV.com, and the KCNTV Facebook page. See you there.
Friday Night Lights is brought to you by Baylor Scott and White Health.
Welcome back to our live stream portion. Let's go back out to our game of the week.
Yes.
Midway destroyed Temple tonight. Incredible. Curtis Quillen joins us live from Tiger Stadium. And Curtis, you were there. What do you think about this entire game? This is pretty crazy.
Yeah, oh man, that was crazy, man. 31-0 was the original lead for Midway, almost to the half before Temple gets on the board. The Panthers were really, really good about capitalizing on a couple of mistakes. Temple's really young this year, but they're really, really good. They're really athletic, and their defense is normally pretty potent, but a couple of mistakes led to 2 or 3 turnovers. That gives the ball back to the Midway offense, begins operations, winds up in the end zone. Midway was just efficient all night long. Temple did get the ball rolling late, but by the time they did, the hole was kind of dug for the Wildcats in this one. I mean, it's Nikki, it is extremely hard to overcome a 31-0 lead, especially against a really, really good team. All the metrics really liked Temple in this one. One of the computer metrics we subscribe to had Temple as a 6-point favorite in this one. Man, that was an impressive performance from Midway. These guys are elated because that puts them in the catbird seat for a district title. What that does is it avoids a road trip out east to the defending state champion Longview as long as Midway wins next week against Belton. Belton team that was upset tonight at Waco ISD Stadium. Kwame Cavill's first district win as the Waco High head coach. But man, this was an impressive showing, guys. If Midway plays like this, they're going to be a hard out in that 6A Division II bracket, which it seems like they're headed that way.
I believe so, and Midway plays at Belton coming up next week, which I think they can take care of business.
Yeah, me too.
And after, Belton just fell to Waco High. But 12-6, I'm telling you, it's shaping up to be a crazy, crazy finish. You got Shoemaker right in the thick of things, right there.
They're not out of the question.
No, and then of course that fourth seed. I mean, it's going to be wild until next week, week 11.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there's a lot that's going on in that we'll talk about a little bit later because tonight another team was eliminated from playoff contention, and depending on the result of the Shoemaker Coppers Cove game, which at last I checked was still in overtime, I haven't seen a final score on that game yet. If Shoemaker wins that game, Cove is eliminated, and then the only 3 still in the hunt would be Heights, Shoemaker, and Belton is still mathematically in because they split against Shoemaker and Harker Heights, who have not played each other yet. So we'll talk about that more in a bit, but this is a big, big win, a big, big, big win for Midway because even after the game, guys, I was talking to a couple of the players and they're like, you know what? We don't have to go to Longview. Haynes King, the Longview quarterback, is the #1 quarterback recruit in the country. He's committed to Texas A&M. He's going to be an early enrollee in College Station. That sets you up for success because now, by the time you run into Longview, it's the regional final. You get the ball rolling. I mean, they're probably going to host Mesquite Horn in the first round. Man, this was an impressive performance from Midway. I think it's safe to say that, that it keeps them in the discussion and probably keeps them in the seat of the premier 6A program here in Central Texas. When you do that to Temple, people take notice.
No doubt about that. We'll chat more coming up here later on in the show. Do not go anywhere because you can't go anywhere.
No, we need more info.
Exactly. All right. Let's drop down to Class 2A. Last Friday, Bruceville Eddy clinched at least a share of its first district title since 1985.
And what the Eagles have done this season is on another level. They're 8-1 overall and 5-0 in district play. Tonight, a win over Bosqueville would win an outright district championship. But right out of the gate, Bosqueville, first drive, ball handed off to Blaine Reynolds, and he takes it 70 yards to the house, putting the Bulldogs on the board first. But the extra point was wide right, so it was you'll see it in a second. But it was 6-0 Bulldogs at that point. There's that wide right. It was not it.
Super Bowl 25.
But then the Eagles answer right back on their second play of the drive. Ball handed off to Nathan Quattlebaum, my player of the week last week, and he takes it 65 yards to the end zone, tying the game. But then their extra point was good, and they go up 7-6 on the Bulldogs. Let's see how this one ended.
Wow.
46-39, the final, Bruceville Eddy.
All right, Holland was on the road against Thrall, and they throttled Thrall 41-13, your final in that one. All right, somebody was going to pick up their first win tonight, Nikki.
Yes.
0-8 Rosebud Lot, squaring off against 0-8 Milano.
There we go.
There it is right there.
All right.
These two teams are fiending for a win.
Here we go. John Paul Reyna, he's going to hand it off to Carlos.
Carlos Salcedo.
Yep. Here we go. The handoff, as he makes one cut, he is off to the races and in for the score. But wait, there was a holding penalty that actually brought the Cougars back, and the game remained tied. So that didn't even count. Then Noah Benavides throws, not yet, here we go. He throws it deep to the sideline, looks to be overthrown, but no. Marquise Jones brings it in, and the stiff arms Breon Lewis and breaks the tie at 6-0 for Milano Eagles after a failed 2-point conversion. Then, hold on.
That was a good catch, though.
Yeah, that
really
was.
good catch. Almost ran over our cameraman.
John Paul Reyna, he's going to pitch it. Hold on, they're getting set up. Here we go.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't like about high school and college.
Here we
they
go.
always have to look at their
Pitches
plays.
to DeMonte Hargrove. Then he throws it back and he fumbles it.
Oh, no.
No. And Marco Netherland recovers, but they couldn't capitalize after the turnover.
Look at this game,
the final was Milano 35 over Rosebud Lot 28.
Massive game in 13 2-way. Marlon Hearn basically playing in an elimination game tonight at Woodfield. Picking up second quarter. Bulldogs have the ball. Quarterback rolls around in the pocket. Micah Smith comes up with the interception. Eagles signal caller goes down quick. Smart did not take a hit. Eagles in business. Smith swings it over to Damian Dunn on the bubble screen. Busted the hole. Gets pushed out of bounds. The 10-yard line. Hearn looking to take the lead, but the sloppy handoff right there. Marlon, the scoop and score. 95 yards to the house. 14-7 Marlon. This went back and forth all night, but that was pretty much it because Hearn would step on the gas and never look back. 59-7 your final.
Oh, no.
All right, over in District 13 2A Division 2, Chilton traveled to face off against Bartlett. Third quarter, Pirates leading 16-zip. Damon Ford on the quarterback keeper. Looking like AC Slater right here from Bayside High. 31 yards on that touchdown, but oh no, Nikki, a flag. Holding
so
on
it's
Chilton.
not going to count.
Did we just see that penalty?
Yeah, that always happens.
Yeah, but
Doesn't
guess
count.
what? A few plays later, it's Ford again. Calls his own number, this time from 40 yards out. 22-0 Chilton. Hey, forget going for the extra point. We're going to go for two. Keller Cook. He's cooking up a 2-point conversion there. 24-zip at that point. 46-12 Chilton, your final.
And Bremont has been rolling all season long. Could they stay unbeaten in district play hosting Iola Tigers ball? Here's JT Anthony. The quarterback rolls out, hits Casey Garrett on the corner out behind everyone, but the extra point no good. 6-0 Bremont. Iola looking to respond. Fourth down here. Case Kramer looks on the outside, but good news for the Bulldogs. Bremont couldn't do anything. Oh, this is a touchdown.
Yeah, this is old Adam Crenshaw.
He gets to the edge, spins out, and there's the touchdown. Their game was tied at 6.
Ooh,
Bremont 47-6, the final.
Scores from around Class 2A. Number 3, San Saba. This is pretty much a district championship. San Saba wins 48-28 against Crawford. Galeon all over Goldthwaite 48-7. Valley Mills knocks off Heiko 45-6. Moody 14 better than Axel 35-24. Mark, they win. They win the district championship and also get the number 1 seed. Itasca, they fall to Riesel 28-20. Also, what do we have here? Frost wins by 50 over Meridian 56-6, and Hubbard knocks off Wortham 41-6. Let's check out scores from over in Class A. Abbott's shut out by Blum 48-zip, and Aquila puts 71 on Golston.
All right. Over in Taps, Riker knocks off Austin School for the Deaf 28-6. No, Austin School for the Deaf wins 28-6. And Central Texas Christian 41 over St. Gerard 0.
All right, here. Well, let's see. Where else are we going right now? Let's go to your Gridiron Player of the Week.
All right.
Who was this guy? Who was this guy here?
Jarrell Wiley from Mejia. He is only a junior, and he had 5 touchdowns in their win over Robinson. And they won again tonight, so Mejia's rolling. But yeah, take a look.
As of last Friday night, the Mejia Black Cats are ranked 3rd in the District 8 4A Division 2. one of the most tight and stacked districts in our area. They beat Robinson 41-24, and most of those points came thanks to junior Jarrell Wiley.
Well, it's not about me. Like, my team, we're very great this year. We've been working hard at practice, like you see back here. We're working hard every day. We come out here. I got a great group of linemen. I got tight ends that block for me. My quarterback made great reads for me.
The running back had 31 carries for 284 rushing yards and 5 touchdowns, but this is nothing new for Wiley.
He's rushed well. He has 130 carries for over 1,200 yards, so he's doing a good job of running, getting what he can when he can get it. And then, of course, you know, having Jaden Proctor back there helps open up some things because they got to worry about him as well.
I was myself and I exploded. You know, it's like when I made momentum with it, when I went, nobody was going to stop me. I just knew to go.
And while a performance involving 5 touchdowns seems out of reach for a lot of high school football players, head coach Frank Sandoval explained that for Wiley, no matter how well he plays, he still sees room for improvement.
He's one of those kids that, you know, he might have rushed for, you know, close to 300 yards on Friday, but he's going to take the coaching for the, you know, maybe that he missed out on 50 or 75 extra yards because he didn't read something the right way.
And not only is Jarrell Wiley getting recognition this week, Coach Sandoval was picked by Dave Campbell's Texas High School Football magazine as the 4A Coach of the Week. But much like Wiley, Coach says it's not really about him.
I get the easy job. I mean, I get to show up and kind of say yes or no to things, but the coaches deserve all the credit and the kids deserve the credit. I don't, you know, my name's on it, but when I see that, I see Mejia. I don't see Frank Sandoval.
And as the tail end of the season rolls around, the guys are just having fun out there and going into each week 0-0.
Jarrell Wiley, he's a stud, huh?
Yeah, and he's only a junior, so he has a whole nother year.
Yeah.
I have good things. I have good vision for him in the future. I feel like he's going to play college.
That's good.
He has it set up, I think.
That's good. And, of course, we saw Mejia. They just knocked off Salado.
Yes.
They clinched a playoff
Mejia's
berth.
on fire.
Also, Shoemaker just won. They clinched a playoff berth. We were talking about that a while ago.
Yeah.
A team that is now tied in the driver's seat, everything, the Midway Panthers. That's where Curtis Quillen is. He's at Panther Stadium.
There he is.
Curtis.
There he is. He's still there.
Again,
Lights
like
are
we were
still
talking
on.
about, shocking that they were up 31-0. But you know what? Don't count on Temple Wildcats. Listen, this is a blip on the screen. We know that both of these teams are really good. Now it's time to move on to Week 11, where you got to finish strong before the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
Curtis
we can't hear him.
has technical
Curtis
difficulties
having a
with his
mic
microphone.
problem.
Good old wireless mic there.
Yeah.
But no, like we were just talking about here, so Midway wins.
Yes.
I didn't think they were going to win.
I honestly didn't either.
I thought they were going to lose
either.
maybe by less than 10 points. So let's go. We do have
Okay,
Curtis
Curtis,
back on
let's
the
see if we hear
back
you.
out there. Curtis,
Okay, they're
go
tossing
ahead and
to
give
us
There
us
we
a
go.
take again,
We got
buddy.
him.
Yeah, guys, 31-0 was the lead at the beginning. I couldn't quite hear you on the toss there the second time. This is an impressive win. Don't count Temple out like you guys were saying originally, because if there is a team that can challenge Longview in the first round, it is the team that was on that sideline tonight. And the coaches in this district I know quite well, and they know I'm not going to say that to blow smoke, because that is a really physical team. That is an offense that really wants to hit you and hit you hard. There's not a lot of offenses in modern high school football that can do that. And so if there is a team that is going to challenge the defending state champion and the favorite in the 6A Division II bracket, it is the Temple Wildcats, who have to go in the Division II bracket, just like Longview have to go in the Division II bracket. Would you like a more favorable matchup in the playoffs? Yeah, because that's a team that deserves to have a more favorable matchup in the first round. But it's not the way the UIL has it drawn up, and there really isn't a way to fix the UIL system. It's designed this way for a reason. It's just an unfortunate draw with where the parity in this district is. Guys, they were on a 7-game win streak. If you don't believe that there's just parity in this district and that everybody who's not Temple and Midway just took a giant moon step forward and that this district is not down, there's just more parity than there's ever been. Tonight, if tonight didn't prove that, I don't know what will. I don't think this district is down because those two teams don't look like they're down. Harker Heights is playing better football than they have since I've been at 6 News. Shoemaker is, 2 years ago, guys, Shoemaker was 0-10. This is a really good district. There's a reason that they deserve a better draw. It's not the one they got. So to Longview, they will probably go as long as Midway takes care of business against Belton next week. Now, for Temple, they've got to play a Coppers Cove team that is coached by a state championship coach next week in Jack Alvarez, who won it while he was at Ennis. A Coppers Cove team that got the better of them last year and sent them into the Division II 1 seed where they lost to Mesquite Horn. So you have to refocus tomorrow morning. High school football in Texas is not easy. It's not supposed to be easy. And tonight proved that. These are two really, really good teams. This game came down to like 3 mistakes for Temple. I'm serious. Once they started scoring, they were almost trading scores in the second half. You take those 2 or 3 turnovers out, we're probably still talking about this game going on right now, guys.
I know. And we saw a lot of teams clinch, district championships. Mart. We saw Mejia clinch a playoff berth. Bruceville Eddy. Shoemaker clinch a playoff berth. A lot of teams that are now set. Of course, next week will be about seeding. Who are you most kind of looking forward to week 11? Yeah. That seeding or district championships or whatever, or coming down to that 4th and final spot?
I'm going to stay in real quick before I answer that. What was the final to the Salado Mejia game?
Oh, it was
I think it was like 28-7 or 28-6 or something like that.
They had 6, Salado.
It was about a 3-touchdown game there.
Yeah.
Who won?
That was Mejia. Mejia won.
I've
and they
been
clinched a playoff
slammed
berth.
I thought it was 41-6.
Mejia won?
That seems really big.
Okay. Ryan Fight is thrilled behind the camera right now that the Mejia Blackcat himself.
Also, you cannot forget about Brandon Holtz.
I'm going to give you 2 games.
Mejia's on fire. They're on fire. My player of the week is from Mejia.
Mejia is legit, y'all.
Yeah. So they was Mejia won.
I'm going to give you 2 games.
Okay.
In 12-6A. Shoemaker plays Harker Heights. Shoemaker has clinched a playoff spot and will have to go Division I. Harker Heights is sitting in 4th right now. In spite of Belton's loss to Waco High tonight, the Tigers are still in the picture because if Shoemaker and Belton win next week, Belton goes to the playoffs, Harker Heights goes home because Belton has the head-to-head tiebreaker over the Knights. So, Heights-Shoemaker is a super interesting game. Plus, it's for Division I seeding if Harker Heights wins or if Midway beats Belton. So, Midway beats Belton next week. The game at Leo Buckley on Friday is for Division I playoff seeding. Winner stays home, hosts Mesquite. Loser goes up to Rockwall, which means you have to figure out how to defend Jackson Smith and Jigba, who is an Ohio State commit. That's one of the games I've got my eye on, but that's kind of a half and half answer there. The second game is Fairfield and Salado.
Yeah. Oh. That's going to be a really, really good one.
Because that's for a playoff spot, I believe.
That is. I think, I believe you're absolutely correct. And Saledo's been playing pretty well, but of course, you run into a team like Mejia who is just really good this year. And they have some athletes. And these teams that
Mejia's defense,
they're like the best defense in their district, I think. Yeah.
And of course, you got your player of the week.
They're one of the 2 best. Yeah, I think.
And Frank Sandoval was the coach of the week in 4A.
Yeah, that's correct.
So that program is just on the up right now.
And Frank Sandoval is a defensive coach. He was the defensive line coach at Cedar Hill when Cedar Hill was going to state championship games every year. So he stresses defense. He coached a lot of he had a Michigan. He was telling me a story one time. He had a Michigan commit as like a 3rd string defensive end at Cedar Hill who never saw playing time unless it was a blowout. That's impressive. I mean, he's got a defensive experience. So to see Mejia's defense be what's keeping them. Not only keeping them in the hunt, sending them to the playoffs as a 2 or a 3 seed. I'd have to look at the numbers on that. That's impressive, y'all.
You know what was impressive? It was the San Saba, Crawford. Crawford had to go to San Saba. They lost by 20. But San Saba, It was really, really good. And I think it's the most points San Saba has allowed the entire season.
Yeah,
because in Crawford's really good.
Yeah,
I think the score was like 41.
Let me look up. What do we have the final?
Of which one?
On San Saba.
I think it was like, if I'm not mistaken, like 41-21 or something along those lines. It was a 20-point game.
Now, okay, so you get to that point, and I want to point something out to you, Nick. Through 8 games, tonight being game 9, going into tonight's game against Crawford, which we had pegged as the District 7-2A Division I title game out at the Graveyard. Let me point something out to you. You ready for this? San Saba's defense had only allowed 9 points going into tonight.
Yep.
Through 8 games.
And that tells you how good Crawford is. And
so
that offense
that triples that.
Nikki knows about that offense.
No, that offense
she could barely field
got
it.
an FBS quarterback.
No, Crawford. Did you go to Crawford and Slater pretty much run the same offense?
Yeah, I can't even follow it. I don't know how other teams actually defend against it because I couldn't even see where to film the ball.
Yeah, they both run the wishbone. It's pretty miserable to shoot. I've got a really Coach Hare at Salado is awesome. I always joke around with him about it. Like, I don't know why I subject myself to shooting your games because this is trying to find the ball in your offense.
No, but those are some of the teams that are ground and pound. They might pass it 5 times a game, but man, they wear your defense down night in and night out and pound the ball 60 times a game. And then when it comes fourth quarter, your defense is worn out because they're going on 15, 20-play drives the whole time, eating 3 yards here, 2 yards here, 4 yards here.
Exactly. 9-minute, 15-second drives against a really good team in 4A Division II. Back to 7-2A Division I, though, because I want to point something out to you guys. Crawford's probably going to be the 2 seed out of that district, and rightfully so. San Saba is an elite Texas high school football team this year. Crawford is a very good Texas high school football team this year. But, guys, with that and Bruce Villetti's win, that sets up a first-round matchup in 2 weeks. You ready for this? Crawford and Bosqueville.
Bosqueville looks good tonight,
and
though.
they used to
did
be
look good.
in the same district many years ago.
They used to be in the same district, yeah.
In the same district.
That
used
is
to have some battles.
That is as good as it gets.
And I remember go to those games. They used to have some battles.
They had some battles when I got here.
Yeah.
Bosqueville looked good tonight.
Yeah,
they really did.
That is. Yeah, they've got. I mean, that's a really good coaching staff. I mean, Clint Zander. He knows his stuff. That is a. I mean, you go through District 8 2A Division I, go through District 7 2A Division I, and try and find a bad coaching staff. You just can't.
No, not at
Sam
all.
Moody's guys at Valley Mills are really, really good. San Saba promoted their defensive coordinator whenever Jared Feacoch left for Georgetown Eastview, and they only allowed 9 points through 8 games, and then, an elite program. A blue blood program in the small school ranks tripled that, as they should. They're really, really good. And then it's just amazing, some of the matchups. I have my eye, if I'm looking toward the playoffs now, which I'm going to because I can, because I'm not a coach right now. And I promise you, no matter how much these coaches are telling the kids, no, just one game at a time, coaches know they know what's up. They know what's going on. If I'm looking toward the playoffs in the first round, Crawford-Bosqueville is an incredibly intriguing matchup. Italy will probably get the 2 seed out of District 8. Italy's only loss as of yet is to Bruce Villetti. Italy beat Bosqueville by 1 in overtime in Bosqueville. So 1 point is sending Bosqueville to a date with Crawford in the first round. I believe the 4 seed is going to be the Riesel-Itasca winner from tonight, if I'm not mistaken. Do you guys know the final on that?
Riesel ended up winning. Yes, they beat Itasca tonight because Riesel was on the road.
I don't know what the score was, though.
I think it was like 28-20, I believe.
It was close.
So that should lock up the 4 spot for Riesel. The last thing I want to do is play San Saba in the first round.
No, yeah, you don't want to play San Saba.
That is,
Hey, how about this? I want to get your thoughts on this.
What I want to know is,
Okay, Whitney's been so good.
Yeah, Whitney won.
And they pulled off the upset, knocking off number 1 Grandview 26-20 tonight at home. We know that Whitney was really good, but boy, this just put them over the top.
Yeah, upsetting number 1.
Look at Curtis. He can't even.
My face
fathom.
that I have right now, this is Jeff Miller in Rockdale.
I have to look at this bigger screen to my right here.
What?
To get
This is Curtis.
You just sent the defending state champion to the 2 seed out of District 9 3A Division 1, the number 1 team in the state, Grandview.
I know.
Oh
Whitney.
my
And Whitney's
God!
good.
Whitney's no
See,
joke.
Ryan
Whitney
Fight,
was
Ryan
good.
Fight, a resident Texas high school football expert. Hold on, I'm going to tell Ryan. Whitney upset Grandview.
As if he didn't just hear you say it.
Yeah. He's that is
calling me on TV
impressive.
right now.
In fact, if I'm mistaken, that means Whitney does not have a district loss, correct? Which
That I
means
believe so.
they are almost guaranteed. They're almost guaranteed the 1 seed. They have Grosbeck next week, and Grosbeck's in last place in that district. Grandview, I'm sorry, run that by me one more time.
Whitney upset
Whitney
Grandview.
upset Grandview. I believe it was 26-20. I had to take a double look
I
at our
think it was a
graphic.
1 touchdown.
Yeah, it was. It was. And I'm going to look on Twitter again to make sure that is
Let's make sure. Let's
1,000%
fact
correct.
check that right now. But I'm pretty
Because
sure.
Think about this for a minute. Rockdale comes back from winning a state championship
26-21.
last year.
26-21.
They fall to the 3 seed because they fall.
So that means Lago Vista should play
Rockdale wins a
Whitney,
state title.
and it says. So they said Lago
Okay,
Vista
so-
should play
so
Whitney
Lago
in the
won
first
tonight?
round. Rockdale gets Grandview in the first round.
No, Lago Vista didn't win.
That's what I'm reading right here. Rockdale and Lago
Right.
Vista should finish 3rd and 4th. Big news because Whitney beat state-ranked
Yeah,
Grandview.
and Rockdale
Didn't
has the
Troy beat Lago
tiebreaker
Vista?
on Lago Vista.
I thought Troy won.
Troy beat Lago Vista
Yeah.
tonight. Rockdale has already beaten Lago
Oh,
Vista.
okay.
Yeah.
The only way, and I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know. If I'm Rockdale, I don't know what I do right now. Because here's the thing. Lago plays Cameron next week. I think it's at Yo Field, in fact. The last, and every coach in that district will tell you that the 2 most physical teams in the district, I'm having trouble processing this. The 2 most physical teams in that district are Lago Vista and Troy, and they played each other tonight. If Lago's healthy, they go to Cameron. You know what Cameron had trouble with earlier in the year? Physicality from Troy.
No, Lago Vista looked so good tonight,
I'm
though.
putting
They
Cameron
did.
Yo on upset alert next week.
Hey, you know what else is crazy?
If Cameron, man, imagine Rockdale falling to the 4 seed.
I know. You know what else is crazy? Whitney was down 21-7 going into the 4th quarter, and they shut them out. They shut out Grandview.
Unanswered points
Yes,
right there.
19-zip.
Whitney did the dang thing.
They literally
They did.
did.
Whitney
They
did
wanted
the
to
dang
prove
thing.
they wanted to prove
They
their
proved the
name,
point.
and
They
they
proved the
did.
point.
I love to see it. You just love to see an
She
upset.
loves
That
upsets.
quarterback
I
is
love
legit,
upsets. I'm
man.
like such an upset girl. Love to
You
see
are
it.
hey, literally too. You're upset. Nah.
I'm not.
That is, wow.
It's crazy, man.
That is something.
It's crazy.
You know what's funny, and to pull the curtain back, and we talk about all of this, now there's so many more really intriguing games going on
Yeah.
next week. Coming into tonight, there really weren't that many because Lexington's win over Clifton kind of took away from next week's game between Rogers and Clifton, and then Rogers took care of business against Lexington last week. So that game is, I mean, if Clifton wins, there's a 3-way tie for first. If Rogers wins, it's Rogers, Lexington, Clifton, and Hamilton. And then, so that game lost a little bit of its luster. Salado and Fairfield is a really, really intriguing game to me. Man, this really adds to next week. I'm just going to go ahead and let you guys know. Sunday, I will be sitting on my couch, nerding out on numbers and figuring out what everything means.
High school
Hey,
football
you do
nerd.
that. There you
High
go.
school
Page
football
notepad in
nerd.
your
The
email by Monday
encyclopedia.
night.
Well, listen, my man, it's going to be a huge week. We're going to sit down, and of course, all of us.
We got to
group,
figure out our game of
our
the
big
week
group
because there's
text,
so
figure out
many
our game of the
games.
week. It's going to be wild. Week 11. Some teams are going to be going home. Some teams are going to be advancing.
Yeah, this
It's gonna
week
be
and next week are the.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I told you.
Important.
I told you when you got hired in August. This season's going to fly by.
It
and
actually
sure
flew.
enough, it is
Like
flying
I
by.
can't believe this is even the end. It's crazy.
One more.
Yeah,
just flew.
I'm just
One more
going to
week.
go ahead and ask for a favor. Central Texas viewers, you have something you think we should consider as game of the week? Heck, Shoot me a tweet
Tweet
at
us.
Curtis Quillin, KurtisQuillin. God knows we need the help this
Or
week.
at
That's it.
TCN Sports.
That's it. That is it. Well, my man, great job out there.
Yeah.
You and Ryan fight. Be careful on the way home, and we'll get ready for Week 11.
Yes.
Sounds good, man.
All right. It's Curtis Quillin. He just broke it all down for you, so hopefully
it's a lot to
it is
a lot to fathom
process.
right now.
A lot
There's
to
a lot
process.
going on. I need a notepad or something.
But yeah, we did it, and 10 weeks are in the books. One more week to go.
That's so sad.
Several teams. I mean, right there on the.
And a lot of teams are like making history this season
yeah,
too.
a lot of teams too. Bruce Valetti and
teams that were never historically good are coming out of nowhere being so good.
I know, which is really, really good. And I know Toby Foreman was calling me earlier, and we're going to end the show here. But we'll talk with him. We'll catch up with him coming up next week, and we'll get ready for week number 11, Friday Night Lights. 1 week to go. Who's going to stay home and who's going to go? We'll see you next week under the lights.